Why, hello, YouTube. Welcome back. This is BalorMage again, and I bring you an absolute shit show that no one should ever play, ever. I've been talking about wanting to try this for like a few days. What you're seeing behind you is a full chaos conversion, poison, flame blast, totem, pathfinder. And if that's not enough to turn you off, its only movement skill is lightning warp. I went full meme, and you should never go full meme. This build ended up costing me around about 15 divines to put together. And the only reason it was that cheap is because the specific combinations of stuff that I wanted, nobody else wants. And for good reason. This build is terrible. This build has limited health, limited defenses. It does have suppression cap. It does have about 25k armor. But it also has, in full perfect conditions where the boss is stationary, I get to pop focus and it still gets hit by the flame blasts, about 700k DPS. And that's the ideal situation, which is quite often not the case. Flame blasts, despite using mirrored rings with cast speed on them from the Calandra mechanic, and despite getting as much cast speed as I could find, are just too slow. Mobs move out and they don't get hit. And then why Pathfinder? So we picked Pathfinder for one specific node. Enemies you kill, it's called, what is it? Master Toxis. When you kill a poisoned enemy during any flask effect, nearby enemies are poisoned. So I thought, when you kill, well, all damage over time effects are attributed to the player. So me killing them with a poison, the poison from the totems will still count, right? Because that's the way wording works in PoE. So we discovered, yes, absolutely, that does still count. However, the new poisons, the ones that are pro-lift, well, I have Ancestral Bond because I'm a totem build, so they are attributed to me. They're my poisons, even though the totems put on the original poisons, they're my poisons. And so it doesn't work. And so there goes a lot of my clear. The idea of my clear would be that I would only have to like nick the edge of a mob and I'd have, 7, 8, 900% increased damage on the first poison that would hit. And that would hit, as long as I hit something, it would pro-lift through the pack. That was supposed to be where all my clear came from. And then I knew that the damage was going to be low. I didn't realize it'd be quite this low. I can get it up to like 1.2, 1.5 million with some woke gems and whatnot. I knew the damage was going to be low, but it planned on supplementing the damage with the brand new mark. I actually forget entirely what it's called. Alchemist mark. I think it's called Alchemist mark. That was the plan. The problem with that is Alchemist mark also doesn't work. Alchemist mark specifically says on it, what is it? Curses a single enemy. Where's the specific line? If your hit ignites them, or if your hit poisons them. So where I was planning on getting a bunch of my single target from, Alchemist mark, also didn't work because I'm Ancestral Bond. So totem problems the whole way along. I played this for 2 days. It took me nearly a whole day to level, and it took me one whole more day to get to level 80 in maps, and I am 100% done. I had an absolute ball playing it, but it is an absolute shit show. It is absolutely horrible. I will jump into the path of building to show you guys some of the interesting things that I did. It was a cool learning experience. I do not suggest anyone plays this build. Right, so in our path of building here, we were unable to get a level 21 Flame Blast because we need Anomalous Flame Blast to get 40% conversion. So I've been leveling this on my own. So it's only up to 18. What I could have done was I could have got a Woke Elemental Focus, and that would have been really good and got a +1 level. This affects the poisons as well because Elemental Focus is only making it so you can't inflict elemental ailments, but it's still giving me up to 40% more elemental damage. Makes Flame Blast hit harder, also makes the poisons hit harder. It's great. You can see right there, the damage and poisons does change whenever I take it off and on, so that's great. So I could have got Awoke Elemental Focus, I could have got Awoke Void Manipulation, and I could have got Awoke Added Chaos, and I could have got one more level on my Empower, and I could have got at least 2, if not 3 more levels on the Flame Blast. So we could have stacked a lot more damage in this. I didn't, because it was very obvious that it was going to be trash by this point. We also did have Malevolence, Purity of Elements, and Determination, so we were completely ailment immune, which is really cool. We had Lightning Warp and a 4-link because we had it spare, and that did zoom us around pretty quick in a 4-link with this amount of cast speed, because we did get our hands on 2 really good cast speed rings. So we got this one here, which had a lot of life. Crit Multi we didn't care about in the negative. Energy Shield we didn't care about in the negative. Mana we didn't care about in the negative. Quite a lot of resistance for lightning, and just a really juicy life roll with some cast speed. And another one that was just a ton of cast speed, a ton of life, and a ton of fire res. A little bit of flat damage against me. That's fine. We had some horrible strength problems. We had to get strength on quite a few items. We got some chaos res on a few items. Look, gearing wise, it was okay. The interesting thing we did, here's the rest of the conversion, is 2 consuming darks. I even bought corrupted ones with increased damage over time to try and up the damage. Not enough. Absolutely not enough. We did end up with Rampage with Despair on hit and cast speed double implicit for like 20C because nobody wanted it for good reason. We've got plus level on our amulet and everything. Like the gear here was pretty solid, and it just did not perform. The interesting thing that we did is we had to use an impossible escape to get over to Ancestral Bond because it was too far away, and I needed this tiny bit of RMR, and I needed all of this to keep my totems alive. And while I was here, these are pretty efficient damage nodes. Cast speed is what we're lacking the most. It's the most important thing. So we got them. But then how do you get Ancestral Bond? Well, we needed that as well as the nodes near it. So we went with the Skin of the Lords that had Ancestral Bond. So we skinned over to Ancestral Bond, and then we used an impossible escape to get over to Ancestral Bond to get all the totem nodes and be a totem build. And this whole build is just a shit show. Anyway, look, this is not a build guide. Please do not follow the build. I am intentionally breaking the path of building link in the description so that it's inconvenient for you to pick up, because you shouldn't want it. And I don't want you to look at it, but I am going to give it to you. But don't look at it. Don't even open it. Have a laugh at my misfortune and then just move on with your life and go play a real build. This is the worst thing anyone's ever done. You know what? That's it. That's for remaining the video. This is the worst thing anyone has ever done. Don't play this build. Don't take the path of building from the description. We'll try and not do like full memes in the next build, but I am after more off meta build options. So if anyone's got some that works, please leave them in the comments. I will see everybody next time.